Hello, good morning. My name is Addo, and today I'll be talking about food security, that is, getting our priorities and responsibilities right. So, according to the UN, 815 million people live in hunger. Experts predict that 2 billion more people will be undernourished by 2050. In order to get this problem, 60% more food must be cultivated by the end of 2050. In Canada, every 1 in 8 households experience food insecurity, representing 4 million Canadians, including 1.5 million children. Poor nutrition can seriously impact the physical and mental health of the population. So, food security can be explained using four main pillars. The first one, which is the availability, second, affordability, we have the accessibility and the stability of the food. So, under availability, we want to know if the food is readily available to the consumer and the supply chain of the food, that is, from harvest, production to the sale of the food. And accessibility, basically, we want to know how close the people are to the markets and the transportation of the food from the farm to the market. Stability of the food refers to the nutritional value of the food, the shelf life, and if the food is available all year round. Lastly, under affordability, we are looking at the income of the people in the community and the price of the food. There are many driving factors of food security in the world, but for this presentation, I will focus on four main factors, which are the increase in population, climate change, urbanization with respect to loss of arable lands, and high post-harvest losses. So, increase in population. According to the UN, the current human population sits at 7.7 billion people. This is expected to increase to 8.5 billion people by the end of 2030 and to 9.5 billion people by the end of 2050. Although the growth rate of the population has slowed down in recent years, an annual addition of 83 million people is expected. Hence, more food must be cultivated in order to feed the growing population. The increase in global population is going to put pressure on our fresh water and soil. So, climate change. Under climate change, we know that climate change and food security are closely linked. Extreme weather patterns such as droughts and floods jeopardize crop production. This can affect crop production in several ways. One, that is the plant productivity in terms of the quantity and the quality of the crops. We look at the agricultural practices, that is changes in the water demand and the fertilizer usage by plants. And lastly, environmental effects, which is the frequency and the intensity of soil leaching and soil erosion. So loss of arable lands. So the world currently has lost one-third of its arable lands due to erosion, pollution, and urbanization. Urbanization basically refers to the population shifts from rural areas to urban centers. This leads to the conversion of arable lands to residential homes, malls, etc. in order to accommodate the influx of people. According to the FAO, the amount of arable lands will decrease by 0.2 acres per person by 2050. Post-harvest losses can be defined as the loss in both the quantity and the quality of food after harvest. Currently in the world, one-third of the food produced is wasted. This represents $2 billion. Post-harvest losses can be attributed to the loss in farm tools and equipment, lack of proper farm education and post-harvest education. In order to curb food insecurity, some solutions have been proposed. The first one, which is the improved post-harvest technology and handling, that is the food preservation technologies such as drying. Second, genetically modified food. This is the development of disease and pest-resistant crops and nutritious and fast-growing crops. Third, controlled environment agriculture, that is greenhouse agriculture and hydroponics and aquaponics. This will enable us to grow more food irrespective of the season. Lastly, the reduction of greenhouse gases, reducing our fossil fuel usage and moving into green energy such as solar. So to conclude this presentation, I would like to say that food insecurity is a global challenge that needs to be met with the development of better food production systems, our education system, and conflict resolutions in some countries. These proposed solutions are also in line with the 2030 SDG goals That is the no poverty, zero hunger, good health, climate action, and life on land. Thank you very much. These are my references.